Have you ever had problems with your money? Did you ever have the feeling you don't have enough? Well then, I'm going to tell you today how to budget your finances the smart way. Today I'm going to talk about budgeting the smart way. If you want to be successful in life, you have to plan everything. You have to plan your day. You have to see in a day what you can do, what you cannot do. You have to make choices. The same goes for studies. You have to plan your studies. Even if you want to eat, you have to plan. I'm going to buy this and this and this, and then I'm going to cook it. For everything, we need a plan. Then why do we tend to forget the plan for our finances? There's the graph I'm going to show you. That how you can divide your finances so that you still have enough for today and for your future. When you get your income, the first thing you need to do is to set a percentage. It is for self-development. Now, self-development means investing in yourself. It may sound a little bit weird, it may sound selfish. It's not. If you are interested in how to self-develop, then I have another video that you can go and check it out. I will link it below. Now, self-development is something that helps you to develop as a person, and in the long run, because of that, you will make more money or you will be a better person. Now, that money, that doesn't have to be a lot. To start with, you can start with something like 10%, but even if you go from 10 to 30%, I think the more you invest in yourself, especially when you are young and energetic, that is something that everyone will profit of. Let's assume in this case that it is 15%. Now the second thing, you set aside some amount for charity. Now that can be something between 1%, it depends on how much you are willing to give, something between 1% and 10%. In our hypothetical case, let's assume we take it 5%. Choose your charity wisely, because children are still dying from hunger every single day. Innocent people are being murdered. There is so much suffering, and women are still being raped every single day. So we cannot close our eyes for those problems. And sometimes in the West, there is not much we can do, but we can make financial sacrifices. There is another category, and that is your savings. And savings mean saving for something that is your life goal, that you dream of, that will make your life easy and comfortable, and so that you don't have to worry about your future that much. Now, you can divide your savings up. You can say, I want to buy a house, so I'm going to save this much money for my house. I want to buy a car or anything else, or anything. I want to save for my children's study, for their marriages. I think the amount that should go to your savings is something around 30%. Now, that is a lot. I think that is a lot. We want to build a future for ourselves and for our children. Saving now will mean that we have to work less later on. But saving more will also mean that we will have to sacrifice more in the moment. Now, what do you do with your savings? You keep it in your account and you save for 5 years and then what? Don't save just to think that that money that you have saved you will use it after 20 years. That's not how capitalism works. In capitalism, money loses its value. The 20,000 that you are keeping now in your savings account will lose significantly its value over 15 years. So it's not wise to keep it in the savings account. Even if you want to save for your kids' education or their marriages or your future or your retirement, then you have to use it somewhere so it will bring back money. That's called an asset. Now, there are a lot of things that can be considered as an asset. If I go into detail much more, this video will become so long. So if you are interested, let me know. And then there is one major category of expenses and luxury. If you look at the chart and you see that you have set aside for self-development, for charity and for savings, depending on how much percentage you decide, something like 40 to 50% will be already aside. So that means you will not have much left for the month to come. Now your expenses are like food, electricity, water, internet, phone, clothes, kids' toys, kids' everything, vacations, etc. And then you have the luxury. And I believe the expenses and the luxury are the same thing, but it's just a fine line where you decide from this is the basic to this is luxury. Like eating can be a luxury too. If you spend like a lot of money drinking cold drinks, then I think it's more of a luxury than a necessity. Or you provide a tons of toys to your kids. I think that's a luxury and not a necessity. TV for me is definitely a luxury. It's not a necessity. Never. Internet is, because you can learn from internet and you can do anything on internet. Come on, let's be real. Can you make YouTube videos? Now your next goal has to be lower your expenses. You can check all your bills that are still running and you can decide which one you still want to keep or not, or you want to go to a competitor, do your study and analyze it. You will see you will save a lot of money. Now, buying clothes. Now, I have 3 kids under 6-year-old and I buy all their clothes once a year. Yeah, you heard me right. Once a year. That requires a planning, a budgeting, searching for color combinations, searching for future fashions, and yes, it requires some time, but once it's done, and I'm over it for a whole year. And if you want to save money, then I would recommend that you do not buy in sales or promotions, because there is a reason why it is in sale, and probably it does not fit your style even if you like the price, or maybe it's in sale because the quality is not that good. And buying clothes in full price means that you will really think about what you really want to buy. Are you interested in more details? Then you can leave a comment, and that's why the comment section is there, so just feel free. You can save a lot of money on food, and not by buying cheap food, but buying smart. And by that I mean by buying in bulk, or buying once a month, for example, or by making a weekly meal plan. By doing this myself, I was able to reduce the cost of food by 30%. Do you want to know the details about it? Then let me know in the comments below and maybe I will make a video about it. Oh, don't go in debt. Stay debt-free. It can be a small debt. That can be a debt about your car, or about a TV, or about your smartphone. It's so easy to get in debt for small things. Be aware for that. In capitalism, you have good debt and bad debt. Buying a house, for example, is sometimes considered a good debt. But buying a car, etc., something that you use and that is not yours, it gives you a freedom that you are not allowed to have. Debt makes you feel more worthy than you are, and then it forces you to make choices that you are not capable of making. So stay out of debt. And oh yeah, don't buy golden jewelry, because that's not an asset, okay? That's your jewelry. If you buy jewelry, you have to pay zakat on it. That's what it is. It will not bring you any money. It will not solve your problems.